We'll start the session with a small prayer. But before that, I'd request you all to sit comfortably, settle down. If you are in a chair, keep your feet grounded, hip, knee, and ankle in one straight line, or by 90 by 90 by 90. If you're in a couch, you can sit cross legs, ground your glutes down to the medium, and slowly try to lift your torso up from the front and also from the back. Keep your neck tucked in and head lighter. With all this postural correction, let the mind concentrate on this spring of breath, the spring that provides life energy to us. Focus on the breath pattern. Quietening your mind deeply. We're going to chant the most sacred syllable, Omkara. Inhale along with me. Om. 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 Listen to the Dhyana shloka. Parasharyavachah Sarojamalam Gītāर्थagandhoत्कटं नानाख्यानक केसरं हरिकथा संबोधना बोधितम् लोके सज्जन षट्पदैरहरहः पेपीयमानं व्याहृत पङ्कजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसि न श्रेयसे With simple palming, you can gently open your eyes. So we started with the third chapter called Karma Yoga of Bhagawad Gita, which starts with the question of Arjuna that why is that you are ordering me to a gruesome act of killing people, and you are emphasizing also on holding on to the steady wisdom. If I have to hold on to the steady wisdom, be in line with that impeccable, immaculate Atman, Brahman, the truth, then why is that I have to act? I don't have to act. I can just be in that wisdom. Now you are confusing me. You are giving me two things. Either whether I have to be in the state of jnana, in the state of truth, or whether I have to act. So if at all act, and you are saying that the action that I have to do is to kill my kinmen, kill my relatives, kill my brothers, kill my sons. Is that what you want me to do? It's gruesome murder. So Arjuna is categorically in a state of confusion. And he is a good ardent student who explicitly opens up that he is in the state of confusion. Otherwise, the seekers of the truth seemingly know nothing but pretend to know everything and then keep the questions to themselves. Okay, let me just process this, let me just digest this and see how it goes, knowing nothing. But Arjuna is very fair. And it is his own Krishna, his own friend, philosopher and guide. So he is very open. It is very fortunate that he got Krishna by his side. So he asks this question. And the second question is even more compelling. So we're going to see the second question, 3.2. Vyamishredeva vakyena Vyamishredeva vakyena Buddhim mohayasiva me Buddhim mohayasiva me Tadekam vada nishchitya Tadekam vada nishchitya Yena shreyo hamapnuyam Yena shreyo hamapnuyam Vyamishreneva vakyena. With your contradictory words. That's what he's saying. Buddhim mohayasiva me. You are trying to trick me. You are trying to trick my brain. The ability of my intellect is descending. I'm not able to understand. Tadekam vada nishchitya. You tell me one thing which is very straight, simple, and easily applicable. Practical. Give me that one practical solution. Yena shreyoham apnuyam, which gives shreyas to me. That will give shreyas to me. What is shreyas? We will look into the word shreyas so that good comprehension of this Vedantic term is attainable. Okay, so we will put that aside for a while. And then see how Arjuna is confused. Whether to act or not. To be or not to be. That's the question. Confusion is not a problem. Confusion is never a problem. Confusion is the sign that you are into the second stage. You are recapitulating. You are doing the manana. You are trying to process and ask question, re-question yourself to find out some clarity. Okay. And this questioning, re-questioning occurs only when you cogitate, only when you internalize things. Otherwise, there are people who listen to Bhagavatam, who listens to Ramayanam, who listens to Bhagavad Gita or reads Bhagavad Gita. Perhaps it doesn't enter into their hypothalamic area at all. So it really passes from one ear to the other. Well, it doesn't go straight inside. It doesn't strike inside. When it strikes, there will be definitely confusion. Why? Because whatever that we see, whatever information that is being gained by these sense organs, that who we are, what is this universe made of, all such questions, so all such important questions come into a fix where we are moved into the state of confusion. Oh, I thought this was fact, but it doesn't sound factual, you know. So that secondary state of being in a confusion happens only when you process whatever you have listened to. That's the second stage of Jnana Yoga, where Acharya says continuous listening to the Upanishadic material, to the Upanishadic morals, is Shravana. And then you try to process it with recapitulation, the art of recapitulation, question, re-question on your own self or the Guru to gain the clarity. So only when you are confused, you will beg for clarity. You will have this hunger for clarity. So this confused state of Arjuna should not be laughed upon. Because everybody has this confusion. We think Vedantins or a person who is saintly or a spiritual aspirant or a seeker is always doing nothing, literally sitting under a tree in Padmasana in lotus pose, doing nothing, closing eyes, meditating in this deep silence he is in. And those who act are those who are not saintly, who are, who are acting with their mind, intellect, and body with that kind of identity. So we have some compartmentalized perspective about people, about the way of doing things. So that has to be broken. It will be broken in the next class or in the next verse. But to the start, this confusion is very much essential. If you're not confused, if you're not questioning yourself, if you're not questioning the Guru, questioning the Master, then it means all that is being learned, listened to are worthless, has no worth at all. It reminds me of an event when Swamiji was addressing the people of America, his Jnana Yoga lectures. That's how it has been compiled as a book. Only the lectures, he never wrote anything. All the lecture sets are being documented as books. So while he was delivering those, Swamiji's words are also very compelling. And he says, you are that immaculate Atman, the Brahman, sinless, birthless, deathless you are. You are that Brahman, you are that Brahman. And constant, I call this as hammering of words, and constant hammering of words happens. And from the horse's mouth, from the mouth of Swamiji himself, Swami Vivekananda himself, it definitely created in the audience, in the listeners, an aura of silence. They were quickly swooned into the state of meditation. And the whole group used to have a pin drop silence, listening only to Swamiji's discourses. And literally stoned like, You can't move. Those words are so reaching the heart, and they start to experience that bliss because of the bliss being emanated from Swamiji himself. Anyways, so one girl stood up and saw what is happening to this group of audience in the stadium, saying that, Swamiji, what are you doing? Are you hypnotizing us? So Swamiji says, me, I am hypnotizing you. How can that be done? You are already hypnotized, my dear child. My job is to wake you up from this hypnosis, mass hypnosis. We are being hypnotized by this perception of seeing universe, people, me, me in the body, me in the name, me in the form, differences. We are all hypnotized with this perceptive awareness. And this is called Maya. Huh? And this is the greatest power of Ishvara. Why is Lord so unkind to us? Why is he throwing Maya, an illusion, onto us? He is not throwing any Maya. We chose to be in his Maya. Anyways, coming back. So we are being hypnotized with this illusion of who we are, what is this universe, and seeing different things other than me. So Swamiji says, with Jnana Yoga, the weapon of wisdom, with the knife, the sword of wisdom, this illusion is broken, this hypnosis is broken. And then you're set into the deep state of indwelling divine, completely aligned, completely communed to the truth. The intellect is in moha. Buddhim mohe misivame, he says. Arjuna says, you're making my intellect to a state of confusion. You're trying to allure me to something I don't understand. So it is not the moha that Krishna is trying to do. It is that inner commotion that reveals in that reveals in the state of confusion. The mind is so in disharmony that it sees truth to be complicated. Hence he says, give me one practical solution, one easy solution. I think I mentioned in this previous class also, people come to the therapist, to me, with questions like, okay, give me a few asanas or 3-4 asanas or one asana that could help me manage hypothyroidism. I said, doesn't happen like that. There is no one practical solution. There is no one thing. Why? Because the problem that we are stuck in is multidimensional. When the problem is multidimensional, how can the solution be one or one of a kind? No, it is not possible. The truth is simple. The approach is simple. But you have to work multidimensionally for that. So, Krishna's perspective is that in the state of yoga, you try to act. Let the actions spring out from the state of wisdom. Let the actions, be it verbal, be it mental, be it physical, come out from that state of silence. Come out from that state of alignment with the truth. But Arjuna, like us, is confused. Is he asking me to fight, or is he asking me to live under the trees, sitting and meditating. What is he asking me to do? I don't understand. So it is our state of hypnosis. We have created wearing a pink spectacle and seeing that everything around you is pink. Wearing a blue will make you see everything to be blue. Both are equally nonsense, though the perceptive awareness seems to be real. So you will find this exact gradient of the color only when with no spectacle worn, right? No colors, no shades worn. So I was listening to a Swamiji who was mentioning about Navaratri. There is this Navaratri, 9 nights of the goddess Devi, who is going to get incarnated every year on the 9 nights. We embrace her, we invoke her, and we also make her settle down, disappear within us. So all these 9 nights from now on, from tomorrow, it starts. You have to invoke the goddess, not as a ritual. It is like, the Swamiji was saying, it is like on a mirror, you're trying to apply bindi, you're trying to apply the eyeliner, you're trying to cover up the face with a cream, but you're not putting it on the mirror. You're not putting bindi on the mirror, you're not applying eyeliner on your eyes on the mirror, you're not applying cream on the mirror, but you're using the mirror as a channel, right? To see yourself. Similarly, the goddess has to be invoked from within. Goddess has to be decorated from within. The goddess has to be sent back, forth, settled down from within. That's what he said. So why am I saying this? All the perceptive awareness has to be turned inward. When you do that, the divine embraces and blesses with the right perception, right clarity. Coming back to the shloka, Tadekam Vadanishchitya. One thing, please speak one thing, Arjuna says. Please grant me one solution. Yena shreyohamapnuyam, that will give shreyas to me, he says. Shreya is a word that is derived from Vedanta. It's also in Kathopanishad. There are two terms basically, Shreyas and Preyas, or Shreyaha or Preyaha. So, Shreyas in one word translation is spiritual enlightenment. Preyas in one word translation, if you give a synonym for one word, then it is worldly power. But if you go intricately about this, if you could dive deeper into the words, prayers is that which looks very pleasant, which gives you all good experiences, but for a short term, but for just a while. And then the one thing that gave you pleasure, that gave you all good experiences, will turn into the most miserable, harsh, difficult time or a difficult thing. All the worldly relations, not only relationships, but all that we entrust our desires with the worldly objects or some power or some post or something. It can be even, the desire to be healthy, the desire to be peaceful, seems to be pleasant, seems to be all good, righteous, but turn out to be a miserable thing just because it is a desire, just because it is attached towards worldly or egocentric in nature. On the other hand, Shreyas seems to be bitter, very harsh, very difficult. But when taken as a path, will give you eventually an everlasting state of happiness, an everlasting state of pleasantness. Any path to spiritual completeness can be equated to Shreyas. That's what Upanishad also speaks. It seems to be bitter, it seems to be a rocky path. Mhm. Sometimes it is also being compared as the path, like walking on a knife. You have to be very careful. But again, it's a royal path, because it leads to the state of completeness, enlightenment, emancipation. So Arjuna knows this. Arjuna is saying, give me one solution that leads to eternal happiness. Not that will give happiness for a while, for a temporal state of nature, over a temporal period, and then turns out to be misery. Mm. It so happens in our life, we have seen. It is not new to us. We have seen, we have planned so many things. We have planned our life. Okay, at my 16, I'm going to be studious. I'm going to be working hard. I'm going to pass this school. I'm going to get a good college. I'm going to get admitted into the best of universities, come up with flying colors and get adorned in the best of the best profession, the best of the best jobs, and then my life will be happy. Oh, there's one more thing to be added. I have to get married to the best person, to the one man or the one woman of life, who completes me, who completes the other, and then there would be everlasting happiness. And that's how the fables or the fairy tales actually end with them. But does that really happen? No. Rather than enjoying the state of happiness, we sort of postpone the happiness, falling for the worldly attachments. I'm not saying getting married or getting a job is the wrong thing. Please don't take me wrong. But all these actions that we do, thinking that it is in turn going to give me a pleasing experience, it is in turn going to give me a state of happiness or peace, is the wrong idea. So why do we eventually do? It is your choice. This again your choice. You do because you want to do, and you don't do because you don't want to do. But what is that it has to be done is to obtain a path of Shreyas, where the essential purpose of life is achieved. Why is that we are here? Why is that we have taken this human form? It is us, is it not? It is our choice. We chose the house, we chose the parents, we chose the profession, we chose the relatives, we chose everybody. Yeah. So if this was our choice, what is that we are going to do with this life? Spiritual communion is the essential purpose of life. Vedas also speak social contribution will be also the other goal of this life. You have to be contributive. You have to be productive. You have to give out something for this society. So, if these two are the objectives or the purposes of life, then are we training ourselves for that? Or have we just become money earning machines, power earning machines? What do you call as, what do they call? Hits, number of likes, number of followers. This is what life has become now. So prayers seems to be all nice, you know. You get the silver button, you get the golden button, what all, the diamond button. You get money, get popular. What happens after that? So there is no end road. Doing the same also leads to frustration. I hear many CEO of big businesses writing, that is a hell of a job, nobody wants to take my place. Why is this happening? Because of the primary fundamental problem in our attitude, that we have vested the thought while doing all these prayers activities that this is in turn going to help me, this is in turn going to make me peaceful, this is in turn going to help me be happy. But on the other hand, if we are going to work in communion with the truth, work unattached, do all the same actions without any expectation, and be more of contributive in nature, tasting the shower of divine grace moment by moment, sipping his mercy every day, every night, and the next day that we are able to sip again for the fact that I'm awake, I'm alive, and I'm able to drink the nectar of life again, is Shreyas, is the marga for spiritual enlightenment. And Arjuna seems to know it very nicely, because he is also a great learner of Upanishads and he uses the terms rightly. Yena Shreyogamapniyam. You tell me that which will give me eternal, everlasting happiness. So, what is that uh, Krishna gives as an answer, gives Arjuna as an answer? We'll see that in the next session. Thank you. The platform is open for discussion and questions.